All right, we're live. I'm a little slow. Welcome to today's Q&A, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are talking driving positions, and those are questions I get often. We're going to answer those as they come in. So if you have a specific question, or if you have a question on a specific location, please put it in the chat so that I can answer it. That's the best way to get started. In the meantime, we do have a few things that I'd like to kind of go over, give you a heads up on in case they might affect you. First off, for those of you who, whether you're out on the road or whatever, everybody, there is going to be from the FCC and FEMA, they are doing testing tomorrow. So this affects everybody you can think of. If your phone starts going off and alarms start going off, rest assured it is a national test from FEMA and the FCC. The reason I say that is we have a lot of drivers who will be on the road around 2 p.m. yesterday, which is when it's scheduled to start going off. And just like many instances, when those alarms go off, when those alerts go off, it throws us off. So be well aware that there will be an emergency alert test. It is a test tomorrow on the 4th. So good day, Dean. How are you? Live in Chicago. All right. Good deal. So also tomorrow we will be doing in Fort Dodge. There will be a walk. So this is the Healthiest State Walk. October is Healthiest State Month, and Iowa is competing as always, right? So we've got a number of people who are meeting tomorrow at the Decker, I believe, let me double check, but I believe at the pond. Yep, at the pond at the Fort Dodge terminal. So if you've ever been at our Fort Dodge terminal, that's our main terminal, is in Fort Dodge, Iowa. There is a pond in the front. It's absolutely gorgeous. But they will be meeting at the pond for a 30-minute walk. That'll be I believe the walk is around 10, right? Or is that when the pictures are happening, is right around 10? It's one or the other. But yeah, you can participate in the walk, whether you're here, there, or anywhere else. I'm going to be participating in the walk at that time as well. So please tag us on Facebook, take us in the picture so that we can all be part of it. All right? Sounds like a plan to me. I hope you guys have fun with it. But yes, national healthiest, I'm trying to remember how this is, Healthiest State Walk. I think I'm throwing national in there when it shouldn't be, but Healthiest State Month. Also this month is also the Global Diversity Month. Global Diversity Month. I know you guys think October is all about Halloween, but there's more to it. I tell you what. Indigenous Day is coming up, as Columbus Day as well, same day. But when it comes to the Healthiest State Month, we will have activities each week. So this week you're getting an hour. You're going to increase an hour of physical activity each day. So get that in, whether you're walking or doing squats or push-ups or burpees. What else? Or just, going for a hike, walking your dog, that's fine. But you're going to get an extra hour of physical activity in. Week 2 is going to be focused more on your diet. So eating 5 fruits and vegetables each day. Focus on eating 5 fruits and vegetables each day. So bump that up, get some healthy food in your whole foods, basically. Week 3 will be focusing on 2 hours or less of screen time. That is probably going to be the hardest thing for everybody, is less screen time. In our trucks, we do have TVs in our trucks. So on your downtime, that could be a stress reliever. Let's go for just 2 hours. 2 hours or less of screen time. That's each day, by the way, each day. So obviously, if you're not a TV person, you don't have to worry about it. If you're not a phone person, you don't have to worry about it. But do your best to decrease that. And you know what? Decreasing screen time can increase your deep sleep as well, your REM sleep, which is obviously the best for you. Week 4 will be focusing on drinking water. I must say though, actually week 4 is avoiding sugary drinks, so getting less sugary drinks. I should say though, increase your water intake. If you can start that habit, that will kickstart a lot of other habits. Now that's my water, but whether your water's in a coffee cup, and not coffee, but like in a cup, in a cup or mug, a tumbler, a water bottle, get some more water in you, hydrate yourself. That's going to be better for you than, really than most anything. So, yeah, be part of it. We will, if you want to sign up for the race, which is this walk, you can do so by runsignup.com, register or race register. How about runsignup.com/race /register. There we go. You'll find it. Yes, Dean, congratulations on Driver of the Month runner-up. Speaking of, let's dive in. Let's talk about it. Last week, we announced our earners for our scorecard and our safety bonuses. Those are those are monthly bonuses that we have, and we wanted to celebrate the next step from those bonuses. So now it's not required that you have a perfect score. I do want to clear that up. You don't have to have a perfect score in order to get a Driver of the Month award. However, because competition is so strong, you do need to have a good score. And odds are you might need to have that perfect score in order to be the top Driver of the Month. It's not necessarily one of the requirements. However, because competition's so tough, it's not irregular to need to be one of those. So that being said, Driver of the Month comes from a few different factors. The criteria is the scorecard, and the scorecard and your safety score. You do need to be nominated. So these are runner-ups. You do need to be eligible through safety, and you're chosen from that by all of the different departments. They'll be voting on the Driver of the Month each and every month. So that's how that works. We have 5 different divisions. Our owner-operator lease purchase winner, Jamie Beam. So congratulations to Jamie. And then we have, Dean Sosek and Teresa Cheek were our runner-ups in our Midwest Refrigerated and Van division. And Tony Nelson was the winner there, so congratulations. Midwest Flatbed, Irvin Kilberg is our winner. And our Southern Flatbed winner, William Perez, congratulations, William. Runner-up was Tyler Kelly. And our winner for our over-the-road refrigerated and van division, Crystal Hahn, again, winning that. And Ernesto Sanchez is our runner-up. So you can only win with here at Decker, the Driver of the Month award, you can only win one time within a calendar year. So within a 12-month calendar year, you can only win Driver of the Month one time per division. So knowing that, from the Driver of the Month, you can then win Driver of the Year. Driver of the Year is a $3,000 prize for each division. So each division has a winner. And from there, you go up to the running for Grand Champion. The Grand Champion winner is a $15,000 prize. So that's usually awarded at the end of the first quarter the year following. So we do a big banquet for our Driver of the Year awards, recognize all of our Driver of the Year award winners, and announce our Grand Champion live right there. Dean says last year in 2022, you had to be perfect on both the scorecard and the safety for winning and being nominated in the Midwest division. 36 drivers, I believe, were perfect on both. Yeah, it is quite a competition. And we do have quite a few drivers who are consistently getting those perfect scores. So again, if they've been nominated and won the Driver of the Year once, then they wouldn't be in the running for Driver of the Month again that calendar year. They could get runner-up, but they wouldn't be able to win it within the year. So, yeah, if you have any questions on that, feel free to ask away. But the driver of the month winners, we want to congratulate you. You will get a $150 gift card as well as a $50 gift card to the Decker store. And then those of you who were nominated but didn't win the driver of the month award, you will get a $50 gift card to Walmart and a gift from the Decker store that will be sent to you. Steph gets that out to you. So congratulations, absolutely wonderful. Last week we celebrated our National Technician Week, and we did a drawing for our national technicians. I would like to recognize a few of them who won the drawings last week, and you can also see that on our Facebook page if you missed it. It's always fun to see the live drawings. National Technician Appreciation Week. We gave away t-shirts for the drawing, tumblers as well. So we had some coffee tumblers. We had multiple gift cards. We had 4 $250 gift cards and 2 $500 gift cards. Again, this is for the National Technician Weeks. So all of our technicians all of our different terminals in Fort Dodge, Iowa, and Bessemer, Alabama, Missoula, Montana, Des Moines, Iowa, and Sperry, Minneapolis, Hammond, they were all put into the drawing for a chance to win. So we had Anthony Logan, Michael Kassabauer, Octavio Lorenzo, Corey Jeltic, Gary Broadhead, and Kurt Greenwood all won Decker t-shirts. So congratulations to each one of you. And tumbler winners, Cedric Hall, Greg Pyle, Norman Arndt, David Hamp, Jamie Angueno, and Gary Feldy for our tumbler winners. Congratulations as well. And for our winners for the gift cards, Maria Teague, Brian Kimber, Ken Hoover, Eric Cruz Carmona, and our $500 gift card winners, Thomas Nelson and Gary Feldy. So congratulations to each one of those winning the cards, the t-shirts, the tumblers, all of the above. And since we're on a roll, we're talking about winners, let's acknowledge those who earned their 6 months safe driving jacket. When you first start with Decker, in your first 6 months, if you are CSA violation free, so all of your inspections have resulted in 0 violations, as well as not having any preventable accidents within those first 6 months, you earn a Decker safety jacket. And these safety jackets you'll be getting a call if you haven't already so that we can get the sizes and get those out to you. But these jackets are awarded and earned by our professional drivers. So today he's receiving a safety jacket, and Yasander Desrosers will also, David Brockett, George Grimes, Michael Kinsey, Leonard Matthey, Peter Lieberger, Timothy Bradfield, and Bradley Hamilton. So congratulations to each one of you winning that 6-month safety jacket. Always good. Dean says we have great mechanics. Stop in and get to know them. They are fantastic. Speaking of mechanics, I do want to remind you, if you have some concerns about your truck, so we have A and B maintenance, obviously, A and B services that we get done regularly on the truck. But when your truck comes in, if there are additional concerns that aren't part of the normal A and B routine, please let them know. That being said, it is that time of year, so it's going to start getting colder, right? And you want to make sure that your bunk heater is working properly. Run that sucker, make sure that it's running well, and that you're not having any issues with it. And I would double check, all things inside as well as outside, to make sure that you're comfortable in the bunk as well as in the truck itself. But run that bunk heater and make sure that it's good to go. If it is not, you'll need to contact the maintenance support. It's 24/7. They'll be able to help you. They can help troubleshoot in most cases, but if they need to get their hands on it, then they'll work with your driver manager to get you into a shop so we can take care of that for you. And that goes beyond just the bunk heater, but this time of year, you do recognize that, oh, I haven't used that thing for a couple of months. I got to make sure it works. So please take a moment to make sure that everything is working in order for you. Yeah, and speaking of that time of year, if you run out west and you're running mountains, you're required to carry chains. Please make sure that those chains are in good order. Take them out and inspect them. Make sure that aren't any broken links. Make sure that they're not, because they rust in those boxes. So you need to get them out, shake them out, make sure that they're in good order, that those links are strong. If you don't have them, make sure you get them. It is required by law. DOT does require that you have chains in your truck if you're running those areas from the 1st of September to the 31st of May. So you need to have those. Here at Decker, we don't require that you chain. So I should probably clear that up. We don't require that you chain. We do, however, require you know how to, and that, of course, you carry those. Because you might get into a situation that you need to throw those on to get yourself into a safe place. They're not there or to be used to just go down the road and just trucking down the road. That's not what chains are used for. They are used to get yourself out of trouble, not into it. So please use them properly. If you don't have them, please reach out to our shop so that we can get them to you. Now, for those of our flatbed division, and we've got a fresh meat delivered. Let's try again. We have a fresh meat division, there we go, as well, that you guys probably don't have the chains on. So if you need them, please contact the shop so that we can get them to you. With our flatbed, we don't run out west, so you probably won't have them on a truck or find a need. However, Pennsylvania is one of the locations that does require chains. If you run into there, then you'll need to get chains on. So that's where we'll have to work with the shop to get it. And they've said that they'll get them onto you without any problem. So just communicate if you're headed that direction. Okay. Anything else that way? I think we're good. As we're speaking or we're talking about reminders, DOT physicals have become frustrating to renew with some of the states. So we have changed our policy so that you are now required to have an updated DOT physical 30 days prior to the expiration date. The reason we're doing that is in the recent past, we have had a lot of issues and concerns with certain states. Not all states, but we've had enough that we're putting it across the board. If you do not update your DOT physical before the 30-day mark, so when you only have 30 days left, then you will not be eligible for loads. You need to make sure that those are in order. The reason being is once you get your physical, and we'll work with you to get your physical. So all you need to do is you need to get a hold of our HR department. I think, who's in charge of that right now? Is it Libby? We will arrange to get your physical set up, okay? So we can make those appointments for you. That said, you must get it done because it needs to get into the state. The state is where we're finding the holdups. And again, it's not all 48 states, but it is a large number of states that we're seeing a holdup, and therefore we need to get those in sooner rather than later. So please make sure that you get your physical updated before the 30 days before expiration, okay? If you have questions, please reach out to us. Dean says, I always run mine to my license bureau and see if it's in. And they say no, and then I have to put it in. All the time it happens, all the time. And so if the sooner we can do it, it's less of a hassle for you if we can get it done sooner, because then you're not having to run around, you're compliant still. That way you're still compliant, because what you don't need is for you to be out on the road get pulled into a weigh station or an inspection, and find out that your license is invalid. Not because of your own doing. You might have done the physical. You might have turned the physical in. You might have faxed it or even brought it over yourself. But there are such delays at some of the states that they won't get them in for many, many days afterwards, causing you to get tickets. And I mean, fighting those is a hassle. And yes, there are services out there that can help you, but it is a lot easier on you if you just get it done ahead of time. Like I said, it is a lot of times it is not the professional driver's fault. It is the delay on the state side, because a lot of them are shorthanded. So please give them some grace, and we will work with them by making sure that we're doing it 30 days in advance. Dean says Minnesota and Missouri are the two states that don't get it in right. There are quite a few. So yeah, all right. So I kind of stuck on that for a while. I apologize. I just wanted to make sure that you were well aware of that. All right. So let's talk about some of these positions that we have available at Decker. One in particular is a dedicated, this is a home daily position. You must live in Fort Dodge, Iowa for this position, or live within a very close proximity, within 25 miles of Fort Dodge. This is a hopper position. I know I talk a lot about refrigerated. I talk a lot about flatbed positions. This is our one and only available hopper position. And it is 2 days on, followed by 2 days off, followed by 3 days on and 3 days off. And then that rotation loops right back around. 2 on, 2 off, 3 on, 3 off, 2, 2, 3, 3. So every third weekend or so, you have a 3-day weekend. The other ones, you'll be working at least a Saturday or Sunday. When you're working a Saturday or Sunday, your pay goes from the $250 a week that you get, the $250 per day that you get Monday through Friday to $275 per shift. So it is a shift. It does pay per shift. So the shifts are roughly about 8 hours, and you're running from Fort Dodge, Iowa, in a day cab hopper truck over to Blair, Nebraska. The hopper, by the way, is a trailer. I do recognize that. And then back to Fort Dodge. You're hauling grain. And again, this shift starts at 8 p.m. The current available position is an 8 p.m. start. It's roughly an 8-hour shift from Fort Dodge to Blair, Nebraska and back. Hopper position, it's slip seating. What else am I missing? That's the gist of it. You do need to be in the Fort Dodge area in order to qualify or to be within the hiring area. 877-433-2537 is the number to speak to a recruiter to make sure that you're not only in the area, but also qualify for the position. And you can also apply online at drivedecker.com. That's another way to get your application in. So qualifications, you need a good work history, no more than 4 jobs within the last 3 years in order to qualify, no more than, I think it's 8 in the last 10. So work history is important. Also, age, you must be at least 21 years of age, no major moving violations for the last 3 years, no DOT recordable accidents, no preventable accidents within the last 3 years. That said, if you have an incident like a backing or a turning incident that doesn't turn into a DOT recordable or didn't, then you can still be eligible for the position as long as you don't have more than 2 of those within the last 3 years. So if you had 2 backing incidents in the last 3 years, that would disqualify you. That would be the limit, excuse me. If you had 3, that would disqualify you. And the same goes for tickets. No more than 2 moving violations within the last 3 years. No major moving violations at all within the last 3 years. And of course, DUIs, DWIs, anything like that has to be at least 3 years old. 5 if it was in a commercial vehicle. So keep that in mind as well. If you're wondering about specific qualifications, whether or not your ticket or moving violation or whatever situation you have would qualify you or disqualify you, please reach out to the recruiting department so that you can get a solid answer instead of trying to play the guessing game or assuming, because it might be worth that phone call. 877-433-2537 to get a hold of the recruiters, and they'll tell you whether or not we can work with it. I can tell you, if you have a reckless, careless, following too close, erratic lane change, 15 over ticket, those are all going to disqualify you within a 3-year period. They have to be at least 3 years old. What else can I tell you? At least 21 years of age. I think I said that. There are certain positions here at Decker that do require more experience than others. So if you're looking for our over-the-road flatbed division, we do require that you have at the very least 6 months of flatbed experience or a year of tractor trailer, and then we can train you in the flatbed. But otherwise, at least 6 months of flatbed experience. Also, that being said, we do have a dedicated flatbed position that does require, that's out of our Nashville, Arkansas area. So if you are in Nashville, Arkansas, Shreveport, Louisiana, Madison, or Dallas, Texas, even Houston, Texas. If you're in any of those areas, we can get you home on a weekly basis for our flatbed division on a dedicated account out of Nashville, Arkansas, or the Texarkana area. So more info on that. Again, the telephone number right here, 877-433-2537. That way we can get you details on it. You'll know all about it, what's available. And what else can I tell you? That is pay per mile, so it's based off of experience level. If you have, well, anywhere from 56 cents a mile to 70 cents a mile, that's based on experience in that flatbed division. So 56 cents a mile to 70 cents a mile for that division. We do require that you have a year of flatbed tractor trailer experience for that specific dedicated position. You must have a minimum of that in order to qualify. Yes, it's dedicated. Yes, it's a lot of miles. Yes, we can get you home on a weekly basis. Equipment-wise, you're looking at most likely a 579 Peterbilt, fully equipped with APU, refrigerator, microwave, CB unit, navigation, Sirius radio, tablet with free Wi-Fi. Did I mention the television with Epic View Satellite TV? So you've got 100 plus channels, HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, Sunday Ticket. Yes, indeed. That's in the truck. We do have inward and outward facing event recorders as well in the truck. Those are triggered during critical events. It is not a live feed. I do want to be clear on that. Definitely not a live feed. Both chairs, both the driver's seat and the passenger, are air ride. And yes, we do allow a dog. We allow 2 dogs, actually, as long as they're no more than 40 pounds combined, 60 pounds combined. And 1 dog, as long as it's no more than 85 pounds combined, no more than 80 pounds. Let us know. Non-aggressive breeds are approved. Rider policy, since I mentioned that initially, a rider policy is for ages 10 on up. So again, it's $25 a month for a rider to ride, and that covers the insurance policy. 877-433-2537 if you have more questions on it. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Okay, so we have our dedicated hopper position, what I talked about out of Fort Dodge. We have the dedicated flatbed position out of Nashville, Arkansas. We do have our over-the-road flatbed as well as our more regional flatbed options as well. So depending on where you live, we have home weekly available in our flatbed division. If you live in Iowa, from Iowa City to St. Louis over to Columbus, Ohio, up north to Toledo, Ohio, on over to Chicago and north to Milwaukee and back down to Mason City, Iowa, Fort Dodge, Iowa, everything in between there, that whole area, that's part of our home weekly flatbed division, our Midwest flatbed division that not only gets you home weekly, but also guarantees you at least $14.50 a week. So you've got that $14.50 a week. That's the minimum pay. That's your safety net. You can make more than that based off of whatever your rate of pay is, which is based on your experience level. So whatever your rate of pay is and the miles that you run. But I would say, I believe that $14.50 is normal pay for that one because you're running shorter runs. I'll have to double check to see if it averages more than that. Whereas some of our other divisions, most of our other divisions, that minimum pay that safety net that we have is $1,000 in most cases, and the averages are usually $1,400 to $1,500 a week. So you'd see the difference. And the average being, the reason I say the average is different is because your rate of pay per mile and the miles that you run you'll get the better of the two. So if this is your safety net of $1,000 and your rate of pay and miles that you ran brought you up to $1,600 that week, you'll get the $1,600 instead of the $1,000. The $1,000 it's just that. It's a safety net. It's there to protect you. If you didn't get the miles that week, or if because your truck broke down, or miles weren't available, or loads were discontinued, or it was a delay at the shipper or receiver, or whatever the reason is, as long as you're available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week, that there are no load refusals, no CSA points, no preventable accidents for the week, no drivers, did I say claims? No claims. And your paperwork's on time, as long as your paperwork is in on time. Those 6 criteria are the only required criteria in order to qualify for that guaranteed pay, that minimum pay, that safety net. Whereas your rate of pay per mile, like I said, can definitely exceed that and usually does. So, but it's there just in case. Just in case. We definitely have used it, some more than others, but that's why we have the criteria there to protect it. So yeah, if you have questions on it, talk to a recruiter. They'll give you more details, or ask away. If you've got them, ask them. Then our over-the-road refrigerated, we also have, it goes coast to coast. There are some areas that stay more east of Denver, so you can stay more east of Denver as well. But our over-the-road refrigerated runs coast to coast, a lot of west, a lot of Midwest. Midwest is going to be heavy freight for us, pretty much no matter what division you're looking at, whether it be home weekly and refrigerated, home weekly and flatbed, home over the road and refrigerated, over the road and flatbed. Midwest is a very heavy freight lane for us. We got the terminal there in Fort Dodge. That's our main terminal. We have shops in Des Moines and Hammond and Minneapolis, Sperry. Am I missing any right there? Hammond, Bessemer, Alabama, and Missoula. But anyways, in the Midwest there, those are our main lanes. So you'll see a lot of freight in there. If you're trying to not go to Chicago, honestly, we're probably not a good fit for you because we do run the area. Now, New York is a totally different story. If you're trying to stay out of the New England states, New York, that's probably doable for us because we really don't run a whole lot of it. If you're, there's certain areas that we don't run a whole lot of, but those are questions that I highly suggest you talk with your driver manager about. Actually, speak to your recruiter about first and make sure that those are within our hiring areas and hiring requirements and hiring availability. Thing is if you're not asking those questions, we might find out later on that there are areas that you don't want to run into, and maybe we run a lot in. That causes you a lot of grief. It causes us a lot of grief. We don't want to get into that situation. So the more we can tell you about the position, the better you understand it, the better we can offer you. Because we can follow through on our offer so that hey, yeah, that is a good fit, right? So do that. Mike, it'd be hard for Jesse to forget Missoula. I was thinking more of like the Midwest ones. Missoula and then Bessemer, I was like, oh, maybe a little, I'll add those in too. So you didn't think I forgot them, but I was really thinking more Midwest. Mike, kids, because I'm based out of Montana. So we have a refrigerated terminal out of Montana, and we started that one in 2010. I don't even know why I looked up in the air, because that's a day to remember, you know? Yep. Opened it up in July of 2010, so very fun. Good opportunity. Beautiful new terminal. The terminal itself was built in I think it opened in September of 2013. Is that right? Was it September? I don't remember. Beautiful terminal though, and it has a lot of amenities. Actually, several of our terminals have a lot of amenities. I can tell you that Des Moines does not have the shower and the laundry facilities that a lot of our other terminals do. That is a terminal that we opened up. Oh man, has it been it hasn't been 3 years, has it? That one is a fairly recent terminal we opened up because we closed one and opened this one because it's more on a through lane for it. And so it was way more convenient for some of our drivers. So that's why we opened that one. And it's basically, it's a shop. So we don't have all the other facilities that we do in some of our other locations. Now it still has, a kitchenette and stuff available there for you. And we do give you access to a car in case you need to run and do laundry or run some errands. You'll have access to a car while your truck is getting repaired. That's in the Des Moines shop. Bessemer has multiple facilities as well as Missoula. Missoula, we've got the washer and dryer and the big lounge, nice comfortable lounge, comfy chairs. There are individual rooms. 1, 2, 3. There's 4, right? 4 private rooms, I think is what we have in Missoula. Now I'm counting, maybe 3. The private rooms there in Missoula, and they've got a desk in them, the telephone. I know a telephone, but a desk, a phone, a TV, a big lounge chair as well. So if you just need some downtime, you don't want to visit with everybody, you have that opportunity. But then we have that more, what do I want to say, more congregational area as well. There are some vending machines there as along with the kitchenette, and nice comfy sitting areas while you're waiting for your truck and trailer maintenance. So if it is due time, you will have comfort. You can also use one of the vehicles there in Missoula. Bessemer is another example. You can also use the vehicles in Bessemer and Missoula. So if you need to sign them out, you can do that. You obviously need to sign them out so we know where they're at, and there is a time limit, but communication is key. Let's see. You can also sign out a vehicle in Fort Dodge too, but we have more hands on deck there in Fort Dodge to be able to do that around the clock. Where the other locations, there's a lockbox. So it might be better to never ask this. What? Oh, I gotcha. What is Decker's concealed carry policy? Your truck is your castle. Yes, I agree with that. The concealed carry, we don't allow weapons on the truck. No swords, lasers, no swords, tasers, knives, guns, nothing like that on the truck is allowed. Yep. But you're right. Safety is important. There are other things that can protect you, though, right? I was trying to figure out if I should just start listing them or. Yeah. One sec. It's a very good question, though, Mike. It's not something that I usually ask or usually talk about because it really hasn't been brought up for quite some time. So, yeah. Aluminum baseball bat for a tire checker. That's what I was thinking, Mike. Yeah. Mine was wooden, but yeah. Good question. Good question. Any other questions on policies? Sometimes, when you've got policies, they're second nature sometimes to us. And if you have a question and it's not one that I normally answer or I'm normally asked, therefore not normally answering, I'd love to be able to answer that for you. Even if it's not the answer you want, at least you get the answer, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Refrigerated flatbed. What am I missing? We talked about equipment. We didn't talk about benefits. What am I thinking? Speaking of benefits, tomorrow at 10, I gotta look up at the time. It's 10 and 3. Oh, we have, give me a minute. 10 and 3. What are the odds that I actually had the times right? I'm telling you, they're not high. Tomorrow, at both 10 and 3 o'clock, so 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., we are having a webinar where we're able to use the webinar through Principal Financial. Principal Financial is who takes care of our 401k for us. So you can log in and do the webinar there. And what's awesome is they provide a lot of tools, a lot of resources to help us improve our 401k. So please take a minute to check that out. It does offer a Q&A, so you can check that out and get details on it. And speaking of benefits, not only do we have the 401k, which is a 50% match, but we also have, of course, dental, vision. We have a Blue Cross Blue Shield health, medical and health. We have $0 generic. We have $0 brand name, $0 some $0 specialty, but $0 brand name and $0 generic for prescriptions. We have the EAP program, and when it comes to mental health and work-life balance, that is a resource that you must take advantage of. There's so much information on there, whether it's financial planning or estate planning, dealing with divorce or dealing with kids graduating. I mean, it's a whole array of things, and there are some counseling sessions that are included in that. And again, that's free to all of our Decker family and their family. So, yes. Mike says, I saw in the news, drink through his window. Oh my gosh, you are kidding me. That I had not heard. Yeah, some of the news is quite horrific. Was that recent? That's horrific. Terrible to see. Road rage. Yeah, use the EAP program. Let's avoid the road rage. Nobody needs that. And then, of course, breathe. TELUS Health, by the way, is our EAP program. We switched to TELUS Health in August. And open enrollment will be coming up here in the next month and a half or so, 2 months. And just stay open to that. If there are any changes, we will let you know. The plus side of it is that the changes that we've seen over the last year or two have been fantastic for us as individuals. The coverage, the prescription, the increased 401k, the benefits have gotten even better. So if you liked them before, you'll like them even more now. I don't know what's coming for this next year. Who knows? But I know I've seen fantastic leaps and bounds on that. And kudos to the team who is behind the scenes taking care of that, Andrea and HR and all of that. So, Mike, you too. You have a good one. All right. So, if you have more questions on the available positions, please reach out to our recruiters at 877-433-2537. Also, you can apply online at drivedecker.com. You guys have an awesome rest of your day. I will be on TikTok a little bit later, probably here in the next few. So if you want to hop on there, if you have more questions, feel free to hop on that live. Otherwise, call our recruiters. They'll be able to answer those questions for you, right? 877-433-2537. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. And if you're going to compete in the walkathon, it's not a walkathon, but you know, that activity, then jump on over to our Facebook page. Let us know how many steps you got in for the day. All right, you guys.